Firstly, we'll mention the sleeves. I think for me, it reminds me too much of Avengers and Infinity War. Obviously, when they say, I don't feel too good and the whole Thanos shit. That sleeve reminds me too much of that. I don't want to be reminded of the heartbreak I suffered. Hello guys and welcome back to the Football League Zone. And obviously with the World Cup coming up soon, very fucking soon, shit. A big hype around the World Cup is obviously a lot of the new kits coming out. We've seen Nigeria's, we've seen England's, we've seen Colombia's, all very fucking smart if I do say so. You might see my kit right now is very worn, but for me this is my favourite kit, that's why I've worn it. You know, I'm thinking outside the box. What we thought we'd do here at Football League Zone is have a look at the Football League kits ranging from Championship, League 1 and League 2. We've picked 10 at random. This is part 1 and we are going to rank them. We're going to talk about the design, if we like them, if we don't like them. Obviously people can disagree, there's no fact in this video, all opinion based. Without further ado, let's get into the first kit. Okay, so first up we do have Bolton, and first impressions of it, I do like it. It looks like it hasn't changed from previous seasons. Bolton's home kit of course has been primarily white with a bit of minor colour in there. The cuffing on the neck and the sleeves, I like it. It's got a bit of a vintage look about it. One thing I will say about it though is it looks like the white does stop on the front and the back of it does actually carry on a bit. Obviously white on the front, then it goes to red. For me, it doesn't look that good. It's not tacky, but it doesn't look up to scratch per se. It does look tight fitting as well, which obviously in this day and age is very popular, especially amongst foreign leagues. Overall, it's a very nice kit. Like I say, not much has changed from previous seasons. Looks plain, looks clean, simple. For me, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Okay, so next up we've got Derby, can't we? And oh my word, what a fucking kit. I will just mention I haven't seen these kits before. This is my first time looking at these kits and I can already say it's the second kit in. I think this is already my favourite out of the whole 10. What a kit. First impressions, obviously the sponsor has changed now to 32 red. The white and then the simple sponsor on the front looks unreal. I do think obviously the standout thing for this kit is obviously the cuffs. They've gone for the vintage look. Obviously with it being Umbro, they have done that to many of the kits this year. I think bringing back the vintage look, it looks fucking sick, as you can see. Again, it looks tight fitting, not too much going on. We've got the white on black. The shorts as well, I'll show you the shorts right now. Them shorts, as simple as they are, they just look so nice. I don't know what it is. I guess the phrase simplicity is key does come into effect here. Like I said, the cuffs on the sleeves, the neck, everything about it. It's just such a sick kit. I'm gonna give it a 10. Okay, so next up we've got Gillingham, and first impressions of it, I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, black on blue. I'm sure Gillingham, I could be wrong here, you could correct me if I am wrong. I'm sure Gillingham last season was, well, previous seasons, they have been white on blue. I do believe, I could be wrong like I say. I think for me, the black stripes on the blue top doesn't look that nice. I think obviously white does look a lot better. Now, I don't know if it is just this picture, but the shirt also looks quite loose as well. Obviously, like I say, 2018, 2019 season, tight kits are the thing, I guess. I guess what I am trying to say is that overall the kit does look a bit, I guess, cheap. But I have just done a bit of research there and it says the deal with the new sponsor, obviously the council, the deal with Medway Council isn't actually a financial one, which is fair play to Gillingham for that. But overall I am going to have to say I'm not that much of a fan of Gillingham's kit. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 4. Next up we have Hull City. Now much like Derby Counties, they are sponsored by Umbro. They've got that cuffing as well, giving it the vintage look for that. I am a fan of it. I think the standout thing for Hull, which is obviously tradition for them, personally I'm not a fan of the orange and black, although the stripes do look like they have been changed on this kit. They've got the 3 stripes and then they've obviously got a mini one in between them stripes, which for me, in my opinion, does look very clean. I do apologise looking down all the time, I know I should be looking there, but the kits for me are there. I'm going to have to see them to actually talk about them. Like I say, you will be seeing them there, but for me they are down here. This whole kit for me overall, it's very nice actually. Like I do say, much similar to Derby's kit, obviously with the Umbro sponsor for both teams. Derby's the white on black just looks sick. This obviously for Hull fans, they will like it. For me, the orange, 7 out of 10. Next up we have Ipswich Town, and the standout thing for me straight away is that sponsor, Magical Vegas. What? Overall though, very nice kit colour scheme, obviously similar to this kit I'm wearing, similar to the FL Zone branding. We've got the red, white and blue. Sick. Obviously as you can see by this picture, we've got the shorts and socks in view as well. I think they also look really nice, the white shorts with the red stripes. Obviously it's Adidas, they are known for bringing out some very nice kits. Another thing, the kit does also match the colours of the badge. That's always a good thing to have. For me, the big letdown is obviously that big sponsor right in the middle. Personally for me though, I do think it's a really nice design. For me, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, so next up we have Plymouth Argyle. Now first impressions looking at this kit from last season, massive difference. I believe last season Plymouth's kit was like primarily green with a white stripe around here. I could be wrong again, like I said, do let me know, but I believe that's what the kit design was. Now obviously Plymouth are notorious for wearing their green kits. This season they've actually added black stripes as well. Doing my research, this is only the 3rd or 4th time in the club's history actually adding black stripes to the kit. In my opinion, it looks nice. It obviously matches Plymouth's branding. For me, the letdown is the white V-neck collar. I think a V-neck on pretty much anything, not even football kits, normal t-shirts, a V-neck, you know, just doesn't go. I'm sure you've seen Man City's night kit this season with the weird, I don't even know what that is going on. Plymouth's, it just looks tacky in my opinion. However, nothing too drastic in terms of design. Obviously, they've added with the black stripes. For me, it does look nice. Score-wise, the Plymouth kit gets a 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Rotherham, and for me, the standout thing is the sponsor. I can't actually see from that picture if the sponsor has a red box around it. I hope it doesn't, because that sponsor, for me, looks really sick. Very simple text with a black outline on it. It just makes everything look a lot nicer, a lot more sharp and clean. Looking at it again, it looks like there actually isn't a red box around it. I was going to say red on red. Major no. Looks quite tight fitting as well, which is always a positive. The colour scheme, red and white. I don't know if this is me just being biased, but I am a big fan of red and white strips. We have seen Puma make some nice kits in the past, especially with international teams. I believe it was either Cameroon or Senegal in a World Cup who used Puma. Obviously, that was a big talking point in that World Cup. With Rotherham, obviously polar opposite in terms of football club. I think Puma have done it again. Nothing really at fault here. We're going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think that's a fairly respectable score for that kit. We move on to Stevenage now, and first impressions for me. Firstly, we'll mention the sleeves. I think for me, it reminds me too much of Avengers and Infinity War. Obviously, when they say, I don't feel too good and the whole Thanos shit. That sleeve reminds me too much of that. I don't want to be reminded of the heartbreak I suffered. I think looking at it, there's just too much going on. We've got the stripes going this way at the chest. We've got, like I said, the sleeves going this way. A V-neck as well. What did I say about V-neck Stevenage? Come on. Macron actually made this kit. Obviously, we've seen Bolton's, the first kit that was mentioned with Macron. They did a brilliant job there. Nothing too drastic. You know, they kept with the theme of Bolton Wanderers. This time around for me, though, with Stevenage, like I say, I don't know what else to say. There's just too much going on. They've got a stripe going down the side. I guess the sponsor does look kind of nice. It's very standout and bold, just plain black, which, like I have mentioned, I do like. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say apart from there's just too much going on. As you can see, looking from this picture here, I actually prefer the kit on the right. I don't know if it's a away kit or goalkeeper kit or what. I actually prefer that one to the initial home kit that was released. Overall, I'm going to have to give it quite a low score. I think it does just top Gillingham by 1. I forgot what I fucking give Gillingham now. Now, moving on to newly relegated Stoke. And first impressions, I'm going to be a hypocrite here. I did say I like red and white kits, obviously, being a Sunderland fan. For me, though, I'm not a fan of this kit. Looking at this picture, I can't see it properly, but it looks like it's got a small V-neck or buttons, which buttons for me on the top, if it's not vintage, doesn't look that nice. We have seen kits designed by Macron in this list already. It seems a common theme with them. They are putting their sponsor logo on the side, which for me, I'm not a fan of it. I do like how it is tight fit though. Obviously Stoke recently relegated from the Premier League. Would expect nothing less than a tight fitting kit from them. Overall, out of 10, I'm going to give it a 6.8. That's very precise. I know. 7. Fuck it, 7. Finally, we move on to Walsall. Now, when I initially looked at this, I was a big fan of down the side. You can see it's got kind of like a net design. Looking back at it now, though, I don't like it. I don't know if it's me being a fickle cunt or what, but I don't like it. Apart from that, like I have touched on, it does look quite simple, which I like in a football kit. Simplicity does turn out to be key. It's got a nice sponsor, nice big bold sponsor. The badge, I think the Walsall badge, I'm a fan of. Don't know about you, I like the badge. Fuck the kit, the badge is sick. It's got the cuffs around the arm as well, which I am a big fan of. The standout thing, once again, the white V-neck. I don't know if it's just me. Do let me know if you like V-necks on a kit, but for me, it's just a letdown. I think, like I say, a rounded kit just looks a lot smarter, a lot nicer. The red and black design though, I do like. I think that looks very clean. Like I say, on a football kit, simplicity does turn out to be key in my opinion. Score-wise for Walsall, I'm going to give you a... I'm going to give Walsall a 7 as well. I think that is fair. So that's been part 1 of rating the new kits. Like I say, it was first impressions. That was the first time I have seen them. None of this was scripted. There was a lot of humming and ahhing in this video. I do apologise. I'm looking down as well. Like I say, I had to see the kits. I do apologise. Apart from that though, I've been Rhys and I'll see you later.